Happy lunch hour, gang. Okay, it's for all those of you that are either not in the mall right now or are probably taking a nap. Yeah, from those of you that got up at 4 o'clock in the morning. You might have made a good move if you went out and got some shopping done today, depending on where you are. Has anybody been tracking Winter Storm Bellamy? This is the big one that's coming. It's supposed to hit the Great Plains today. It's Montana, that area right now. But then we start to take a look at, I don't know, Chicago, Detroit, Indianapolis. Starting tomorrow, they're going to start getting dumped on. And you're looking at somewhere between 5 and 8 inches of snow that's being called for. Then you get around the Great Lakes, say the South Bend area, something like that, you're probably going to get walloped. And then just going into Monday morning's commute, all of you in New England and upstate New York, even upstate Pennsylvania maybe, are going to have sloppy travel. Why do I say all this? Well, it's cold. It's winter. No big surprise. Well, it's not winter yet, technically. We still got a month till we get there, or 3 weeks. But it's time to make those preparations for it. And I'll give you a perfect example. I had to run out to the store this morning, get in my truck, close the door. Door didn't latch. Get out, try it again. Door didn't latch. The little clip, if you will, I can't think of the top of my head what it's called, but the latch on the door was frozen. Now, we had gotten a bunch of rain here in the last few days and probably got some moisture in there or anything of the sort. And then it got cold. It was down in the low 20s. And so, okay, we warmed it up a little bit. And yeah, it works. And I was able to go off and get everything done. No problem. But some of those things that you might forget to keep in your car. Lock de-icer. Need to have that around the house. It's not going to do you good in the car if you can't get in the car. So have that in your purse, have that in the house. Maybe have one in your desk at the office or, wherever you work. Ladies, easier for you to keep a purse. Guys, we're not going to carry it around in our pocket. Don't keep it in the car, all right? A can of WD-40. Okay, remember what WD-40 is. It's a lubricant, but the WD stands for water displacement. Okay, it's getting water away. So it's something that's good against ice. Have you got your snow brush, your snow scraper, right, to get everything off the window? Check. Is it broken? It's been sitting in the back seat of the car for 6 months or whatever, and you dropped a bag of groceries on it or something like that, and you get out there and you got this much of the blade left. Might want to make sure you've got that ahead of time. I made a comment to everybody a couple of weeks ago on a live stream, but I'll say it here too. Having a bottle of alcohol, if you got any left, which we probably all do, from the COVID days, your isopropyl alcohol, that is a great thing to keep in the house and in the car, because the nice thing about isopropyl alcohol is you can spray it on your windshield and it will help break up the ice, as you're scraping your window or whatever it is and you get the stripes. Okay, you can get that off of there real quick, get you on the road a little quicker. I've made the comment many times about having boots of some sort, even if they're just the knee-high rubber boots, not necessarily winter boots, but having a pair of those in the car, because you don't know if you're going to get stuck on the side of the road somewhere, and now you're trying to fix a spare tire standing in a puddle, right? Or knee-deep in snow, something. Have something to keep your feet dry, preferably to keep your feet warm, but certainly to keep your feet dry. You don't have feet, guys. You aren't doing anything. The most dangerous thing for military is protecting your feet. Socks, good boots, wrap your feet, whatever it is. You need those to move anywhere. So have something like that certainly available to you in the car in case you break down. Have you checked the spare tire in your car? Does it have air in it? Doesn't do you any good if you go into your car and crap, I got a flat, because a lot of things you don't see in the road when it's covered with snow. Metal breaks off of something and all of a sudden you got a flat tire. You go check your spare, make sure it's got air in it, because putting a flat tire on where you have a flat tire not going to do you any good. Is your jack serviceable? There's a good idea. Want to make sure that's still working. If it needs to be greased up or whatever, because over time, if you don't do anything with it, don't turn it, it will rust and freeze up. Ice melt, kitty litter, something like that. Do you have a bag of that in your car in case you get stuck in ice, or you're parked at the office all day and all of a sudden it kind of gets wet out and you're stuck, parking lot's covered in ice and all you're doing is spinning tires? I know the old idea was to put your floor mats under it, but a lot of cars don't even come with floor mats anymore. And then the next question is, do you want to basically ruin your floor mats to get yourself out? Go get a cheap bag of kitty litter, or if you want to keep some ice melt or whatever it is, that'll get you some traction to get yourself out. Don't have to tell anybody it's snowing. You want to have your coat, your winter coat, your gloves, your hat, your scarf, whatever. More importantly, this is geared toward those people in the central areas of the country, kind of where I am. Because, yeah, you live up in Minnesota, you live up in Buffalo, you're used to winter. You know what to do every year. But the people that get a little bit further south, where I am, don't experience stuff like this often. And so they don't have the equipment needed in the car in case the roads are icy or it snows. It's one thing if you're at home and you go, boss, I can't come into work. It's a complete different thing if you're at the office. It's not so much fun going, honey, I can't come home. Okay, there's the difference. Unless you want to sleep in your office chair. I mentioned the story that we had here a couple of years ago. We had that ice storm, and I was literally stuck in the house for 8 days. I could not go anywhere. Now, around where I am, it's very hilly, and there's one big hill that's about 3 miles away from me on my way out of town that's relatively steep, and it's always in the sun, or always in the shade, and it stayed below freezing. That thing was a sheet of ice. You couldn't get a car up it. You couldn't get a car down it. There was one other way out. There was a big hill in that one that I tried to get through one time, and you couldn't get up or down. We were stuck. Okay? So plan accordingly for that. I'm assuming that everybody that watches this channel has enough food to last them for a week, or firewood, or whatever your alternate heating source is. But if you have to go somewhere and you can't, or you have to go somewhere and get stuck, what are you doing? Okay. A lot of places, sure, you can call AAA and they'll be out there in a couple hours. Talking to one of my neighbors here locally, okay, when we had that ice storm. He owned a tow truck company in Illinois before he moved out here. And it's like, yeah, he goes, we love that weather. We made boatloads of money because we were pulling people out of ditches left and right. And he had an issue where here, he doesn't have the tow trucks here, and he got his tractor stuck in a ditch and called a tow truck company. And they were like, yeah, we get out there in about 3 or 4 days. Imagine you're stuck in your car. Okay? You can't get out. Now, maybe you're going to be able to call somebody, and 5 or 6 hours later, by the time they can navigate the roads, they can come pick you up, and you're not living in your car for 3 or 4 days. But you should have your get home bag or your bug out bag or whatever so you can keep yourself warm while you're waiting for that ride, while you're waiting for the tow truck to come get your car. Don't take some of these storms lightly. Again, you live up in Minnesota, you live in Buffalo, you live in Maine, you're used to heavy snows. Not telling you anything you don't know. But there's a lot of people that aren't. And this is supposed to be, from everything we've heard, a relatively bad winter with snow and ice in places that don't normally get that much. We'll see what happens. But again, this is one of those, pay attention to the news, pay attention to your area, learn from what is going on in other areas, and go, oh, okay, this is what happened to the guy in Iowa when he got snowed in. All right, I'm in southern Illinois. It's not that far. What happens if I have the same situation? Word to the wise. You're a prepper. Prepare. Pinball out.